I'm not telling a man he's not a leader. If that man is not telling me, like if you got to tell me you a leader every 5 minutes, I'm probably gonna tell you you're not a leader. Cause why the you keep telling me you a leader every 5 minutes?
Don't take it.
Leaders don't have to
Try
tell you
not to
they a leader.
try not to take it literal as if he's telling you the leader. But for example, if he's telling you, "Hey, look, this is what we're gonna do," you know what I'm saying? I've been positioning myself to get this business up and running, and I finally got it. And I need you to run the front desk for me. And you say, "No, I got my own job." That can cause a man to have a mental health issue.
Sweeney, you
Hey,
thought
sir.
you was about to ask me a question?
Yeah. Are you saying that it's pretty much that ideology typically comes from people in major cities, like women in major cities?
Uh, I would say typically. I definitely wouldn't speak in absolutes, of course, but I would say typically it's a little different when you're in a major city.
You know that over 83% of the U.S. population stays in major cities.
Yep. What did I say? But did I not say that most people are in major cities? But it doesn't mean at all. So then now you're
Well,
counting every single one in there. But what I'm saying is it's a little different.
so just based off of your
And then
logic,
and
then
then
I
and
would.
then and then you have to consider places that are like overpopulated. Like New York City has a whole bunch of motherfuckers, right? And that's one mentality. So it's not completely like that in every state.
No, but so what I'm saying is that if the ideology is because a lot of people come from like this, because I would assume when you talk about flyover states and like what I mean, these not so urban
Iowa,
areas,
Montana, stuff like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're talking about an ideology in a woman where it's more homemaker, it's more kind of like that. I don't want to say that southern hospitality type deal. But if most of the US population are in major cities, then what was you about to say, Marcus?
I got a question for Bo about her thoughts on friends with benefits. Like, is that like a preferred way of dating, or because I'm trying to understand? I really am. I'm not trying to be funny or anything. Uh, like, would you be okay with just having like purely sexual relationships and then you go your way and live your life separately from the guy and he does the same, and the only thing y'all really meet up for is sex?
Not at this point in my life, no.
Why?
Because I want companionship. I don't like
Yeah, man.
a lot of my desires are not as carnal as they used to be.
Mm.
Like I
Is it,
desire something
is it safe to
more.
say that when a woman get to that stage of your life, she start to have I ain't gonna say epiphany, but it starts to dawn in on her that, hey, maybe I need to put away the carnal life, or maybe my desire or your desires, that lust for those carnal things kind of float away, and you actually want a
No,
companion.
I mean, I've always been this way. It's just that I was more open to just friends with benefits when I was younger. I've
Why?
always wanted companionship. I've always prioritized companionship.
What's the difference?
But huh?
What's the difference from the time you was open when you was younger versus now when you older?
I was young.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So
You
is it
young and
safe to
dumb.
say? So is it safe to say when you get older to your stage in life, it's gonna dawn in on women, or they're gonna lose that urge or that lust to want to participate in carnal because they're out of their youth.
No, it's not because of that.
You just said
It's
it because you
not.
was
I'm
young.
just saying, like, when you're young and you are just like new to the world, that's what you do. But it's
Okay,
not this
okay. So it's a matter of
epiphany.
youth.
But what I'm saying is,
I think it's
it's
more a
not
matter
that the
of
desire
maturity.
for companionship hadn't been there. There was no epiphany. There has always been a priority for it. But now I just don't care to be casual. That's all. I've just taken the casual thing out of it. I only prioritize something serious, companionship. That is it. That is all.
Do
But
Right.
you
I've
Hold on.
typically
always
Hold on.
been
do
Hold
there.
you
on.
do you typically consider like the men that you date, would you say they ascribe to like traditional masculine roles, or are they more like gender fluid?
Gender fluid. I don't think you meant to say that.
I
But
think so. When I'm saying gender fluid, I mean
That nigga,
like,
yeah.
look, they not they might seem gay, but they not actually gay. They kind of ascribe to masculine and feminine traits, where they kind of walk
Do I
away
date men
from.
that know how to balance their masculinity and femininity? Yes, I do. Because men that I am attracted to know that everyone has a masculine and feminine that they balance on a daily basis.
Would they get their nails done?
No, that is not. I don't. Y'all have the wrong idea about femininity.
No, I'm just
Good
asking
What's
God.
questions.
wrong with a man
Oh,
getting his
this makes
nails
my
done?
head hurt.
I'm just asking.
Right.
I
What's
just
wrong with a
want
man getting his nails done, Marcus?
A manicure, pedicure.
I'm
If he's
just
not
Yeah,
getting
giving
And if
nothing
I'm
wrong
paid,
with
being
a manicure
honest,
and pedicure.
I would love
and
for
I'm
a man to get
asking
his
general
nails painted.
questions.
They
Can I
just don't.
continue to ask? Let me continue to answer these questions.
Use a
I am
different
genuinely
example.
curious. You say what?
Use a different example.
I
The
don't see
nails
nothing
done
wrong
is
with
No,
manicure.
I'm not talking about like getting a manicure. I'm talking about like they actually like they're men who paint their nails. Do the men she date paint their nails sometimes?
She said she don't mind if he got paint his nails though.
I actually would prefer a man that like to express himself that way. But men don't
That's
do
what
that.
I'm
So
asking.
I understand that. As
Look,
but that's as a
I just
nail
tried to
tech.
make it feel like
You
I'm
know.
crazy, and she just is. Come on, like, Bo, I understand you. They trying to stop me from understanding the you that
Hold
is
on, wait a
this.
minute.
I
Wait,
never
wait a
came
minute. No,
across
so you
I've
mean
never
to
dated a guy that
please.
painted his nails though.
she
Yeah, I
never
mean,
dated
please.
one? Do you know how
You
rare
gotta
that
vote
shit
for the
is?
picture.
I don't got it. I don't got it, bro.
That shit is
Uh,
about
It
as
don't
rare.
happen.
Motherfuckers don't.
As a nail tech in the
Do you
South, that doesn't happen.
Shout out to
you feel
Caleb Williams, but most of these
the same
motherfuckers
way
ain't
it
out
is?
here painting
I
their
was
nails.
gonna say it's because you in the South, because in the North you definitely see a lot of men with painted nails.
Let me tell you something.
I
I
live in
want it
Atlanta. I
so
see men
bad.
that paint their nails all the time.
That's
Oh,
Because
you
weird.
live in
I
Atlanta.
don't
We know that.
like
You live in
I
Atlanta.
don't prefer these
I
like
don't really see it.
uber
I
Guys,
mean,
on YouTube,
masculine
paint their
yeah,
nails.
men.
I'm just done with it.
Shit.
I don't really see that, to be
Men
honest with you.
I
Look,
don't like men who are
these is the
so
same nails that I
masculine that
think I
they
saw on a
can't do
dude's hand
anything.
at the bar last week.
It
Last week.
depends what was the bar at on the south side.
Gems and flowers and everything.
Probably maybe midtown.
Bo, how many times can your man cry in front of you before you like, come on, stop? Or is there no limit?
What?
Why are you telling me not to cry? Like what the
No, I just
You
asked
can't
you a
cry?
question.
see, I
How
know
many
no. I
times?
know,
Or
but
is there no
it's
limit?
a frustration of mine because I don't like men who are so masculine that they don't know that they have feelings or they don't like it's I don't like just
I'm
men who
asking
focus
questions
on
in position.
masculinity is
I'm
like
asking,
this
right, a
box.
box. I get it. And I'm asking you questions to understand what this spectrum is. I'm trying to
Yeah,
sift through it. So every time I ask a question, oh my God, and I'm
my
just
bad.
trying to
Go ahead.
understand.
I'm sorry.
Because
I'm
the
gonna stop
question
doing that. Go
wasn't,
ahead.
do you only date men that don't cry? I said, how many times can a man cry in front of you before you say, all right, dude, that's enough? Or is there no limit? Like, can he
There is
come
no
home crying?
limit.
So he can come home crying every single day, like, babe, I had a rough day at work and
If
cry
it's
every day?
if it's something to cry about, like what we need to figure out what we crying
Hey,
about.
hey, Marcus, didn't I
What
not
is that?
allude to this about an hour ago?
I was, what you say?
I said,
About an hour
y'all don't
ago?
remember me alluding to this
I
like an hour
remember,
ago?
bro. You
It's a
said it was a
specific
particular
archetype.
dude. I thought we put it to bed. You said it's a particular guy that's out there for her.
I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
saying
trying
because
to get
okay,
data on what the parameters for this archetype is. That's what I'm
Shit,
asking
you
all
need.
these questions.
Okay.
but here's the thing with
Why
the
does the
crying,
architect have to
that's
be
an
the most
extreme
sissy dude
example.
on
No
the?
one is coming home crying every day. Not even women are coming home crying every day. However,
Yeah.
if in fact
Beta.
Y'all
if
pick the
in
most
fact your man is
sensitized.
crying and you tell him to stop, if that man is really worried about something and you brush him off, that is how men unalive themselves. Like this is men's mental health month, right? And
Mhm.
so a lot of people really like they this is a facade for them. I really do care about men's mental health because if something is going on, if it's something to that extreme, there is some help that man needs to get. Someone needs to listen to him. Just like people don't listen to men. People don't pay men's feelings any attention. I actually do.
What
I
if I told
actually
you?
care
What if I
about them.
told
So
you
I
all?
would never berate a man for having feelings. Of course
What if I
not.
told you in most of these cases the man's feelings and his mental health issues is connected to his the attack on his masculinity of women trying to push equality and tell him that he's not a leader and all this other shit. Mm. You don't like that part.
I don't have a problem with that part, but here's the thing. I'm not telling a man he's not a leader. If that man is not telling me like if you got to tell me you a leader every 5 minutes, I'm probably gonna tell you you're not a leader. Cause why the fuck you keep telling me you a leader every
Don't take
5 minutes?
don't take it.
Leaders don't have to
Try
tell you
not to
they a leader.
try not to take it literal as if he's telling you the leader. But for example, if he's telling you, hey, look, this is what we're gonna do, you know what I'm saying? I've been positioning myself to get this business up and running, and I finally got it. And I need you to run the front desk for me. And you say, no, I got my own job. That can cause a man to have a mental health issue.
Oh, remember when what's her name? Damn, the girl from Girlfriends, the light skinned lady, Joan from Girlfriends. What's her
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Tracy Ellis Ross. Do you remember when she was talking to Michelle Obama and she said she don't like straight men, straight black men who do? You remember that quote? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember that part. Most of it, yeah.
Oh damn! I was gonna ask you, did you agree with that quote? I think what she was saying was
I think
that
we
she
have
didn't
two
she
different
didn't like.
topics right now.
Oh, she didn't like older. Oh, all right, never mind. You know, y'all go down the road. I
Like
answer these
older
questions.
men. She didn't like older men. She didn't like
Right, older
men
men, they
like
were
that.
like toxic masculinity,
Yes,
and she
there's two
liked younger
types
men
of
because they were more fluid,
masculinity.
and they had no problems with like
I remember that now. I didn't agree with that, but
She
I actually
tried
got
to
a
use
question.
that
I'm
as an
actually back to
excuse.
that. Hold
She
on.
tried to use that as an excuse. She's not compatible with most majority of the men out there. Otherwise, she would have been the wife and a mother to some kids. She's trying to use she's trying to get behind feminism and try to claim the rhetoric. Oh, it's too masculine. I don't want these leaders. He got to be a leader and he biblically principle.
Or,
Yeah,
Darwin, you
come on, man.
could really just listen to women when they are telling you what they want. It is
We,
not that
we
we're trying to push against
listen.
anything. It
yeah,
is, this
there.
is the experience that we want to have. Why is the woman's experience and what the woman wants always negated?